Grade 8.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Pick Six Show. I'm your host, Musa. I got my guy Mike here today.
So
we're doing a special Wednesday episode. We normally don't do Wednesdays, but for you guys, we're allowed to make some compromises, some changes.
Anything for you.
Absolutely. So, man, we're going to, get into some of the key topics so far. We got some breaking news today with DeAndre Hopkins getting traded to the Chiefs. We're going to talk about the Monday night games, mostly the Ravens versus the Bucks. We're going to talk about some Thursday night football tomorrow. We got some predictions for those games, as well as some college football predictions. And we got not just one, but we got two. That's right, two tier lists we're going to get to today, defense and running backs. I'm excited, man. We're going to get you guys out of here before some good NBA starts. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. First, we're going to do, of course, we're going to start off with the running backs. We're going to do the running back tier list. I think it's only right. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get going. We have a few tiers. Of course, we have the IR tier for players that's injured, who haven't been played or just recently got hurt. Got the S tier, which is the elite of the elite. A tier, B tier, so on and so forth. Got a lot of running backs on this list. I try to make the list as detailed as possible and relevant. So hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, we got a lot of committees this year, multiple running backs.
For sure. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So the very first, Mike, I'll let you do the honors.
All right.
The first person on the list is Aaron Jones.
Before I rate any of them, I'm just going to say, and I think we can all agree with this, a lot of running backs are products of their environment with the passing game and the offensive line. So that'll go into this as well. But Aaron Jones, I'd put him in the A category. He's close to the S, but just believe who's the other guy they use it behind him? Is it Madsen they've been using too? The committee with him?
On the Vikings, I believe so.
Yeah, and he's been injured a little bit too. I think he could definitely be in that S category before the year's over, but I'll put him in A for right now.
For sure. Not mad at that at all. He's been having a great start of the season. I'm loving the work he's doing in Minnesota. Minnesota is one of the surprise teams of the year, but we always have a surprise team at each NFL season. That's what's the beauty about the NFL season. So I got the next pick. I have Alvin Kamara.
Just signed a big extension.
Yes, he did. And he recently mentioned that he's been playing with a broken hand and he had some broken ribs earlier in the season that he's been playing through. So shout out to him. Have you ever seen his workouts in the offseason? Some of the best.
No, I did not.
It's one of the reasons why he probably has the best balance in the game as a running back. His workouts are intense, and it shows when he's on that field. I'm gonna go A tier. I think he's not elite like he was a few years back, but I still think he's more than serviceable in this league. In the right situation, he can probably be one of the elite running backs in the league again. So with that, I'm gonna put him in the A tier.
Even to do what he's doing he's a passing back without a doubt. He's great in the running game, but he's definitely, I think, a guy that you use first in the passing game. To do what he's doing this year with a broken hand just shows how good he is, to say the least.
Absolutely. You got the next pick, and it's your guy, Bijan Robinson.
Bijan, I once again, just like Kamara, I like him in the pass game. I think Kamara is more effective in the run game, though, than Bijan is. But I personally think of Bijan as a passing back, even though he can put up those numbers in the running game. But I'm going to put him also in the A tier.
Okay. And what's stopping him from becoming in the S tier running back?
just that actual run game. Passing, if we're doing strictly passing backs, he's in that S tier. But if you look at it like this, don't get me wrong, there's games that he breaks off for 100 yards and stuff. But they really, I know he's battled some injuries this year, but Algier helps behind him. I know he doesn't put up the best numbers every game, but they sort of got a committee going there, and I think he has another level. He'll be on the S tier eventually, not necessarily even this year. I think you could probably see that next year.
Sure, for sure. Moving on, I got Blake Corum, Michigan's finest. I'm not going to waste too much time and put him in the C tier. He's not bad. I just would like to see a little bit more of him. I believe if he has a bigger role on the team, I think he's on the Rams this year, correct?
Yes, he is. Yep.
He has a bigger role. I think he can do more damage. But the way Kieran's running that ball, I don't see him getting as much snaps to get moved up right away. So he has to make the most of his snaps. But for now, I'll put him in the C tier.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Breece Hall, there's no question here. He's in the S tier. Dual threat running game and passing game. I know they've used Braylon Allen a little bit this year. That's sort of died down since Saul has left, but he's probably the closest. Like since Saul has left, he's probably the closest thing you find to a bell cow running back this day and age. Seeing we don't really have many of them anymore.
No disagreements there. I have Brian Robinson. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. And I think it's not. I'm just gonna hold out. It's kind of like what I was when we talked about the quarterbacks early in the show, in the past with C.J. Stroud. Like I'm not mad if you put him in that 8 elite tiers if you want. I just want to see a little bit more from him, more consistency, more seasons, more under his belt. He's a great running back. He fits perfectly in that system in Washington with the way Kingsbury is running that offense with my guy Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
So, and you got Austin Eckler, who's a good vet, solid vet. So, I'll put Brian Robinson in the B tier.
Yeah, even as I said, or as you said, I'm sorry, in the A tier, I wouldn't even be mad at that. I think he doesn't get a lot of attention, and he's a pretty solid running back. And Eckler's another one of those guys you can use in the passing game. I know they use him in the running game a little bit, but he's more of a passing back as well. Next guy we got to put on IR. We haven't seen him take a snap this year, but he'd obviously be in the S tier if it was a different situation.
I'm also gonna put Pacheco in there. As well.
I'm cool with that.
So you can get the next pick. You got DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift, they've used him a mix of the pass and the run game, but he's almost in the 3 running back committee there, I believe, with I want to say Johnston maybe. I forget the other guy. Johnson and I can't remember the other guys.
Yeah, but it's typically him.
Foreman, I think.
Foreman, yes, but typically it's him and Johnson getting the total of the carries.
I'll put him in the B tier though, just because I know he has more the potential to be in the A tier, but they're really using him as a committee over there, and I don't think Eberflus is probably calling the best offense in the world, so he's sort of a product of his environment, like we were talking about before.
Nah, I agree. He looked great when he was in Philly last year.
Yep.
The offensive line was great. I think now with the offense in Chicago having its little shortcomings at first, but I think they're starting to get their feet under them and starting to get more of a rhythm. I think the sky's the limit for that O-line and DeAndre Swift. I have David Montgomery. I'm going to put him in the B tier.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love what he's doing. He's one of he's the bell cow in Detroit. Gibbs is more of the third down receiving, but can also run between the tackles back. But I'm gonna put him in B tier for the hold off because I feel like the S and A tiers is more conservative to like the top 10 backs, and I think he's that borderline 11, maybe 10 running back in the league. So for that, I'm gonna just put David Montgomery in the B tier.
Fair enough, yeah, because they use him more in the running game for the most part, and I know it's a committee with him and Gibbs, but I don't know. Personally, myself, I would even almost put him in the S to the A, but I'm cool with that. I ain't going to argue with it because I know it's a committee over there, and he doesn't get the touches necessarily, but I feel you. And Derrick Henry, we're going to put him in the S tier. I know I've said he's washed in the past,
Oh,
but here's
it's
here's
about
no, no,
time
no,
you put some respect
no.
on King Henry.
I was going to say, so here's the deal with Henry. I see a lot of people talking about that he's this engine you got to start getting going, and he gets better as the game goes on. I think that's a load of crap. What they know is, in Harbaugh's, and they use him the right way. This is nothing against him or the Ravens, but they know he's going to break off at least 1 to 2 big runs a game. Short of that, he's not really picking up much. He doesn't break the tackles as much as he used to, but the numbers he's putting him up, I think he's 40-1 in the MVP market right now, which probably wouldn't be a bad bet if anyone was interested in placing it. But the problem is, I saw this with Tyreek Hill last year in the Dolphins. They were putting up crazy numbers, a guy that was non-quarterback in MVP position, and it just doesn't maintain until the end of the season. You need that on defense. And look at the top scoring offenses in the past. We got the Rams, the best show on turf, lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. The 07 Patriots lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl, I believe. The Dolphins last year didn't even win a playoff game. So with their defense, I just don't know about the Ravens. But he's definitely a star this year. He's definitely revitalized his career in Baltimore.
I must say, though, I'm lost for words. Mike actually gave Henry some respect and credit.
I'll always give people respect.
You added a little bit of salt, a little bit of, I'll call it hate, but you call it facts. So we can agree, disagree. But nonetheless, Derrick Henry, S tier running back, well deserved. No surprises here. Devin 8-Chain, I wish you would have had him.
Yeah.
Since you're the Dolphins fan.
Yeah, I'd rather have Henry.
It's tough because if I'm being honest, I feel like he's a B tier back, but this season he hasn't been able to show it because of that O-line and Tua being out.
Yeah.
Plus he's been in and out the lineup, I believe. But
yeah, he had a concussion a few weeks ago.
I don't think he's a C tier back, so I'm gonna put him in the B tier behind Robinson.
So it's funny you say that. So they're in a committee right now with him, Mostert, and Jalen Wright. And I honestly think the best running back in the Miami committee this year is Jalen Wright. Mostert's been downright terrible, as you know. And then A-Chain, health has been a big concern with him. He missed a ton of games last year. He was battling an ankle or hamstring earlier this year, and then he had the concussion. And they can't really use him in the passing game. And he's a guy who can run it, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely more effective in the passing game than the running game.
Yeah, that's what he makes his money in that third and short screen plays.
Yep.
I agree. Ezekiel Elliott.
Oof. We're going off of this.
I'm getting off the bad ones right now. Yeah, it's this year. I'm getting some bad ones.
I'll put him in the trash, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I got to put him in trash, man. I don't want to talk too much on it because I feel like I'm hating, but yeah, he's in the trash tier. Everyone watching, make sure you like and subscribe. This tier list that we're doing for running backs, and we're going to get into the defensive one soon, is strictly off of this season. It's nothing to do with their past awards or accolades. It's only this season what we've seen so far. Now that we're almost just about at the midpoint in the season, which is crazy to think about. So,
goes quick.
Ezekiel Elliott, I put him in the trash tier. You got your guy, Gus Edwards.
Put him in the trash, bro. J.K. Dobbins has been carrying that offense this year.
Oh, man. I thought you was going to be a little bit more enthusiastic for him, man.
Nah.
Nothing? You ain't got nothing else for your boy? He ain't Keaton Mitchell?
Bro, what did Herbert have the other night? Over 300 passing yards, and they couldn't get a touchdown? Come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know. I have no words for Gus. Hopefully they can turn that around because right now J.K. is the bell cow in that offense, and that's the last person I would have thought considering his injury history, but shout out to J.K. Dobbins. He's definitely on this list, so we're going to get to him soon. I have Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm not wasting time. He's in the B tier also.
What? Wow.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
He's a top 10. He's a top 10 running back. I'm going at the A tier. Obviously, Montgomery is the bell cow in the offense, but I feel like Gibbs is the lightning, David Montgomery's the thunder, and Montgomery's gonna wear you out, and Gibbs will go for the kill. So he's been awesome this season in that Detroit's offense. It's reasons why Tim Laporta and Amon Ra hasn't had the numbers that people expected him to have so early because of how dominant that run game has been and how great the offense as a whole has been. So I'll give him the slight edge over Montgomery, but you can swap him out if you would like. But Gibbs is definitely an A-tier running back. I think he's one of the top 10 running backs in the league.
I think he's top 3 to top 5 personally myself, if not the best. I know he's more of a passing back, but just what he can do to his speed to avoid tackles, I think that guy is only his second year too. I think he will be the number 1 back soon enough. But moving on here to James Conner, he's been had a quiet, pretty good season. I'll put him in the B tier.
Sounds good. I have my guy James Cook. He's been dealing with some injuries lately, but this season I'll put him in the B tier also. Prior to getting Cooper, and it sucks because he was out when Cooper got traded in and played last week. He's been their offense for the run game as well as the passing game, and I think it showed a lot since he's been out before they got the Cooper trade how much they need him in the passing game. So now that he's a featured back in Buffalo where he can affect in the run in between the tackles, outside the tackles, a lot of outside zones, and in the screen plays, Cook has had a great start to the season. It kind of went down a bit due to the injuries, but I think once he gets healthy and gets back in that lineup, he'll pick right up where he left off.
Yeah, I thought he had a chance at Offensive Player of the Year at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, the way he started off against Miami and Jacksonville, but he's another guy that's more effective in the passing game as opposed to the running game. But I wouldn't have even been mad if you put him in the A tier. I think he might even be better than his brother when it's all said and done. But moving on to Javonte Williams, he had a great game last Thursday against the Saints, and he used to be a star. He's had a little slow start other than that. So as of right now, I'm going to put him in the C tier, but we could see him up to the B and A very soon. I just need to see more than one performance to put him up there.
And I agree with the next pick I have is Jaylen Warren from the Steelers. I agree with everything you said. Saint, I can't necessarily call him and Najee Harris lightning and thunder like I do Montgomery and Gibbs because Warren packs a little bit of both. He got the lightning and he got a little bit of thunder. I love his run style. He runs angry. I love that about his game. He fits perfectly in that Steelers offense. And I think the way Russ played is going to continue. I don't think it's going to be at that peak of a level, but I think Russ is going to win them games because one thing that Fields didn't do is throw the ball deep down the field, and Russ has been able to do that. So that opens up the offense for Pickens and others, and now the run game can flourish with him and Najee Harris. So I love Jaylen Warren's game. I gave a little quick cheap plug to Russell Wilson because, people say he's been awful in Denver. He had that one bad season, but last year he was really good, 26 TDs, 8 picks. So I think he's going to bring that right over to Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh could be a sleeper to win that division, although I got the Ravens winning that division still.
Yeah, with the way you were saying about Russ, I think that's the best game he's had on Sunday night since he's been in Seattle, to say the least. And I'm curious to see if he continues that going forward. And Jaylen Warren, he's like Pittsburgh's version of Cincinnati's Chase Brown. I think a lot of times I'd rather even play him as their number 1 over Najee Harris, depending on how he's doing that day, because he's very good in the passing game as well. I think Jaylen Warren's a great back. And Joe Mixon, I know he's been injured a little bit this year, so I'm going to put him in the B tier, and I would normally put him in the A, but just because of the injuries, I got to put him in the B. But
he's definitely at the top of B.
Yeah,
definitely at the top of B. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think I probably would have still put him in A, but I'm not mad at you put him in B considering he had the injury. But he came back and he hasn't missed a beat. So shout out to him and the Houston Texans. I have the next pick, and I have Jonathan Taylor. He's not trash, but he has been hurt most of I believe, majority of the season. So I'll put him in IR for now.
All right, that's fair. Wouldn't even be mad at C.
I was leaning towards C too, but
yeah,
I'll be fair to him and just put him in the IR tier. You have Jonathan Brooks.
Jonathan Brooks. I follow a lot of football, bro, but who is this? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I know who he
Hey
is,
man,
bro.
I told you I had to get in depth with some running
Is he in
back.
Denver?
Is he in Denver? I don't know. What you think?
I don't know, bro. I don't know
I
this
want
guy. I know most guys in the NFL, but I don't know this dude. I ain't gonna lie.
Really? I'm actually surprised.
Eh?
You guys don't know, man. Mike is a great when it comes to football mind. So I threw this out there to see if he can catch on. But no, he's on the Carolina Panthers.
Carolina. See, I like Chuba Hubbard is a great running back and very underrated for the situation that he's in. But I don't know Jonathan Brooks, so we're gonna put a C to trash, maybe like you. If you know him, you can
He's
put
better
him in the
than Blake.
proper
I
tier.
will
You
give him
think?
that. Yeah, he's been better than Blake, but you can intertwine them. I got I wish Clips would say I got Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
And we already know what we gotta do. We ain't wasting no time. S tier. He's one of the leading rushers in the league this season. He's been flourishing in that Green Bay offense with Jordan Farr or Brad Love, if you would like to call him, because he used to give me a little bit. Jordan Love gave me Aaron Rodgers vibes, but he's more so of a Brad Farr because he's just a gunslinger. So having Jacobs there, he helps with the passing game and opens up the offense more because of his run game. There's not much else I can say about Josh Jacobs. He's one of the top 10 running backs, I believe top 5 in the league. So shout out to Josh Jacobs. You got your boy,
Yeah,
Mr. AP 2.0.
Yeah, put him where he belongs, man. People are realizing who he is this year. He's a star. Like, I know he's had some injuries, and they're even starting to use him in the passing game, which they didn't do much last year. He was more just a regular running back. But this year, he's doing great things in that Seattle offense, and I think he's a star without a doubt.
So he's an S tier?
I think so. But
so Kenneth Walker is Mike. You heard it here first. Mike believes Kenneth Walker is a top 10 running back in this league. That's not crazy.
Yeah.
Not crazy at all. I have this for my boy Ty. Ty couldn't make it hit today, but it's all right. We can hold it down for him. I got his boy Kyron Williams, A tier.
I wouldn't even be mad at us.
I was leaning towards S, but I still think he's still in the top 10. Right now we got 9. If you look at the S and the A tier, we have 9 running backs. So for me personally, there's only one more spot that can fill in that top 10. Yeah. And I think Kyron got one of those spots based on this season. There's nothing he can't do. He is that Rams offense without Puka and Cup not being there. He is the offense there, and he's been holding it down as much as he can. There's been some rumors about some trades going on with that team with Stafford and Cup. It was rumored that Cup was supposed to be a Kansas City Chief, but that fell by the wayside. That's neither here nor there. We're going to move forward. Mike, you have Najee Harris.
Najee Harris, I got to put him in the C tier because I can't put him and Jaylen Warren. As I said earlier, I think Jaylen Warren some days is the better back than him there in Pittsburgh.
Najee Harris in the C tier. Okay. I got my boy Nick Chubb, and I got to be fair. I'll put him in the B tier. I was leaning towards C because he's only played one game, but
he's better than most of these.
He's better than I could do IR. I'll do IR to be respectful, yeah, because he will be a top 10 running back. So
without a doubt,
I'm putting him in the IR tier. You have Rachaad White.
Rashad White, I don't think he's best. I think Bucky Irving will take over there in Tampa, and even Sean Tucker's proven well. Rashad White's definitely more of a passing back based on his size and how they use him, but I put him in the C tier, to be honest with you. He's not trash, but I think Bucky Irving will take his place, and even Sean Tucker's looked good this year. Unless you're passing, I don't think there's really a use for him in that Tampa offense.
Fair enough. I'm getting upset, man. I'm getting all these Dolphin players, man. I need to leave them to you. I got Raheem Mostert, IR. We can move on. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, that's fair. Even trash, I wouldn't be mad at. He's only had one good game this year when he has played, but yeah, IR is fair.
Yes, sir. You have Ramondre Stevenson.
I'll go C. It's tough because he does some great stuff, but he fumbles that ball a lot. And he's been hurt too. Like, I'd put him up in B to A sometimes, but not this year. Can't do it.
Finally, I got some traction. Got my boy Saquon. I already knew he was going to do damage in the Eagles offense. The O-line hasn't been the best, but it's been serviceable enough for him to do what he got to do. He will be the last person I put in the top 10 in these tiers, but, that's up to the rest of the list. Saquon is definitely a top 3, top 5 running back. And you have Tony Pollard next.
Tony Pollard, Tennessee. I haven't watched much Tennessee, and when I have, I think he hasn't really done much. I'd put him honestly trash this year.
Interesting. Okay.
Tajay Spears has been taking. I know he was injured last week, but he's been taking a lot of the reps down there.
I got Travis Etienne. If I had a Where's Waldo tier, that's where I would put him. I don't like putting him in trash. I don't think he's trash, but I don't know what's going on. But that's where I'm going to have to put him for now. It hurts me that I even got to do that to him. But it's fitting because I remember when he got drafted there, I forgot who the running back was. I think it was Fournette. Maybe.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette. I don't know. He might have
it wasn't Fournette.
Or Buffalo.
It wasn't Fournette. It was someone else. And they kind of moved him. They moved them out to build up ETN. And now it's the same thing going on with Travis Bigsby and him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, and I guess I could say at least for this season, because moving forward, things can different. I was wrong, Clips. I forgot who it was, but Travis Etienne is not helping my case of why I had him over him. I think it was J.K. Dobbins, actually. So, yeah, I put him in trash. You got Trey Benson.
This is a guy who I really don't know much about either, to be honest with you. I know who he is, but I'd be fair and put him in C, I guess, because I can't put him in trash if I don't really know him.
Fair enough. Next up, Zach Moss. I'll put him in the C tier.
I think he's trash, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Why? Why do you think he's trash?
Because I think that next guy on the list, Chase Brown, I think he's a much better run back than he is. They can use him in the passing game, the rushing game, and they're finally starting to use him more than Zach Moss. And I honestly think Brown is at the top of the C tier. So if we not at the top, like too high, but I'd put him like in between Javonte Williams and Rashad White. So I guess Zach Moss can stay in the C category.
So where are you gonna put Chase Brown?
Between Rashad White and Javonte Williams.
Oh, he is C tier. Okay.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to be a B to borderline A eventually, but he's not there yet.
I got Tracy Jr. from the Giants. He's been balling for them since Singletary been out. I'm gonna put him in the C tier just because I gotta see more. I'll probably put him right behind Chase Brown. Perfect. Next, you have Alexander Madison from the Raiders.
Yeah, he's a C tier. He's had some flashes of being good, but he's had a lot of not so good. I know it's a weird situation there in Vegas right now, but I can't put him any higher or lower than that.
Would you like to trade? I'll take Trey Sermon.
Yes,
never mind. Never mind, because I want Bucky Irvin. Actually, no, we can do the trade. Wait, you can have Bucky Irvin. That's fine. You can do Chuba.
I'd put him I'll put him in the B tier with those other guys. If you get him out of Carolina, he's even putting up good numbers there. So he's like Deontay Johnson. He's putting up great numbers there, and they don't have much around him. I think he's a great running back.
I agree. He's been towing that rock down in Carolina, putting up some good numbers. I'm putting Trey Sermon in the C tier. He's been serviceable. with Taylor out. I like how he runs with a good aggression. So I'll put him in the C tier. You have Bucky Irvin.
Bucky Irvin. Okay, we're gonna put him in the C tier as well, and I'd put him above Rashad White. I don't think he's better than Tracy, but I think he's definitely better than Rashad White. He does fumble a little bit though. That's the only thing that makes me a little iffy on him.
Yeah, he fumbled in that last week's game.
Falcons game. Yeah.
The Falcons game, yeah. I got J.K. Dobbins. The irony. I'm gonna put him in the B tier. Yeah. I'll put him right behind David Montgomery. He's been really good this season. It shocked me how good he's been for that offense. I thought the offense would struggle a lot with all those pieces gone. He's been that saving grace. I just want to give him a round of applause, man. If you know J.K. Dobbins' story, for him to be with the position he's in now and doing what he's doing for this team in this season, with all the injuries he had, it just shows that when determination, you put the work in, you get rewarded back. So shout out to J.K. Dobbins. He's better than Travis Etienne. I got to say it. So, Clips, I'll give you that one. I was wrong. At least for this season, I was wrong. But, yeah.
On J.K. Dobbins, he's a guy like Saquon. He's not as good as Saquon, but when he's healthy, he's capable of doing anything you need him to do. It's just, can he stay on the field?
Well, he was a monster at Ohio State.
Yep. Even in Baltimore. Yeah.
Baltimore, yeah. He's showing flashes of Baltimore. He just kept getting hurt, and that was a tough part.
Yep. So next guy got his what's his name?
Jordan Mason.
Right?
Yeah.
Jordan Mason.
He's one of the league leaders in rushing yards this season.
Yeah, he almost he's got that same running style, I think, to like Pacheco or Hunt. Maybe even you can say like Adrian Peterson too. He's got that nice hard running style, and I love the blocking schemes that Shanahan does there. But I like what I've seen from Jordan Mason, but is he a product of his environment? I don't know. And only for that, I'm going to put him in the B tier.
Gotcha. I got the Tank.
Tank Bigsby.
Tank Bigsby. He's been a horse.
Yeah.
He's been a tank, no pun intended, in Jacksonville. I'm going to put him in the B tier as well. I think he's been slightly – no, I can't put him over Mason. I'll put him right behind Mason. I think he's been better than Robinson, but I'll put him behind Mason. I think actually Mason's higher on this list. I'll put him.
Yeah, I'm cool with
I'll put him above Montgomery and Mixon, honestly. He's borderline A based on this season. And then I'll just move Tank above Brian and Connor. Boom. You have your boy Justice Hill.
Yeah. Fortunately, he's a little small, so it's tough to use him in the running game, but he's great passing back. I know some people say he's a scat back, but I want to give him more credit than that. But in all honesty, we got to put him, seeing he's one-dimensional, we got to put him in the C tier, probably even below Zach Moss, to be honest.
Fair enough. Here at the Pick Six Show, we keep it live. We keep it real and authentic, man. So we ain't sugarcoat nothing. If you good, you gonna get your credit. If you playing bad, you gonna get what you put out there.
Yeah, for sure.
It's that simple. I'm gonna got Kareem Hunt. He came back. I'll put him in C tier. I believe when he gets his legs on him, he's gonna be very serviceable for that Chiefs offense. There's not much he has to learn because he's been in offense before. So with that being said, I'll put him right in the C tier. And he's better than White. So I'll just put him right there.
I think he's better than the top.
Yeah, actually. I put him right with Najee.
Yeah, I like that. I'd even think he's borderline B. I know we haven't seen the body of work for enough games, so I think C is appropriate, but he definitely could even be B or if not A by the end of the year.
Sure, definitely. You got your boy, Tyler Algier.
He's a C running back. I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably even put him down around Justice Hill territory in the C tier. he's good when they need him, but he's just they lack that true running back there in Atlanta. Because as I said, I think Bijan's more of a passing back myself, but he's still serviceable in the running game. But I'll definitely go with C for Algier.
Fair enough. Tyler Algier in the C tier. I have Austin Eckler this season. I put him in the C tier. I just feel like Brian Robinson has just kind of take over that RB1 spot. But he's definitely great in the passing packages, so I'll put him over Javon. I'll put him in between Trey and Javonte.
He's another good bet for people. Always, if you look at, you want to do it early in the week because that number will get bumped up. But the books haven't really adjusted to it. He goes over his receiving yards almost every week. He didn't last week, but he's just another guy who's used more in the passing game than opposed to the running game. I know. Next up, I got Ray Davis. I think he's only played a couple games because he was injured part of the year. But
he had that big catch last week.
Yep. I'll put him in the C tier. I think he definitely, if he can be a dual threat better, he might even take James Cook's position eventually, but he ain't there yet. So I think C's appropriate tier for him.
I agree. I got Antonio Gibson. I'll put him in the C tier. Right there. And last but not least, you got Jerome Ford. Cleveland Brown.
I've never been a Jerome Ford fan. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Kareem Hunt was better than him last year in Cleveland, and I'm just not a fan, bro. I'm gonna put him in the trash category.
Fair enough. Everyone watching, make sure you like and subscribe. This is our running back tier list. I'm gonna show the bottom again real quick. So we won't say their names, but here's the bottom. Here's the IR, trash, and C tier, and you can see the B tier. Shout out to David Montgomery, J.K. Dobbins, Chuba. You got David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, Jordan Mason in the crew. And then we have our top 10. In the S and A tier, we have Jahmyr Gibbs. This is not the order of the top 10, but this is the 10 we think is the 10 best running backs. We got Gibbs, Alvin Kamara, Bijan Robinson, Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, and King Derrick Henry. I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm pretty satisfied with this list.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about it at all. I think it's a solid
great list. Yeah, I'll put our list up against anyone's. It's pretty good. You can make some arguments for some switches and moves, but overall, I think this is a great, solid list. All right. Now that we got that out the way, I feel like it's time we can do our predictions for the games, and then we'll end off the show with the defense of rankings. What game you want to start with for college, or you want to get into the Thursday night game?
We'll do the Thursday night game, seeing that's the only NFL game we're doing. So right now, I think the line will probably move by tomorrow because there's a lot of money coming in on the Rams. I don't know why. I know Cup might be back, but I don't understand the movement at all. I'll be fading the public once that number gets down enough. I just keep throwing money at them so I can get a better number on it. But game we got is Vikings at Rams. Vikings are -3. Clips has the Vikings straight up. So does Peso. I have the Vikings -3, and Ty has the Rams straight up. So who would you like, Musa?
Oh, I'm taking the Vikings. Wait, who's home? Vikings or Rams?
Nah, it's in LA.
Ooh. I'm going to go Vikings straight up. I think the Vikings are third in the league in sacks. They're number one in takeaways, I believe, for interceptions. So I'm gonna go with that Brian Flores defense and take them straight up.
Yeah. As I said, I don't understand the money movement. I know it's a not good spot for them supposedly, but I can't believe the spread's only 3. I think it could get ugly. But now we'll get into the college slate. We got a lot of top 25 matchups this week. We have 5 of them. We'll start off first with Notre Dame at Navy. Notre Dame is -14. And I have Navy straight up. Peso has Navy straight up. Ty has Navy plus 14, and Clips has Notre Dame straight up.
I'm going to go Navy straight up.
I like that.
I think Navy going to shock some people again and prove why they deserve to be a top 25 ranked team.
Yeah. That Army-Navy game could actually be really good this year, seeing both of them are still undefeated, and they'll be going for that group of 5 spot in the playoff.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next game,
just as good as my Colorado Buffaloes, right? Who was supposed to win only 4 games?
I think they're better than Colorado still, bro. But Colorado's they've done a lot better than I thought they were this year. I'm not going to say that they haven't, but I think Navy would wipe the floor with them straight up. I ain't going to lie.
Oh man, Mike. All right, what we got next?
All right, we got LSU at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is -3. Peso has Texas A&M straight up, and then myself, Ty, and Clips all have LSU straight up.
I'm going LSU as well. I don't believe in either team, but I trust LSU more than I do A&M. So
yeah, I agree with you there. Next game we got. This is even though it's a good matchup on paper, I don't think this is a good matchup at all based on the way these two teams have played. We got Missouri at Bama. Bama's -13.5. Clips has Missouri straight up. Myself, Ty, and Peso have Bama straight up.
I'm going Bama straight up.
All right. Okay, next game we got is Illinois at now number 1 ranked Oregon. Oregon is -22. Myself, Peso, and Clips have Oregon straight up, and Ty has Illinois plus 22.
I'm going to go Oregon straight up.
Yeah, I don't think they're covering that spread. I think that's a good play.
I think Illinois is better than what people think.
Yep. I agree with you. And just other than the Purdue game, Oregon, I don't think's covered any of their spreads this year other than the Ohio State game, obviously, that they went outright. Maybe against Oregon State, too, but still they haven't covered many of them. But last game on the college slate we got is Texas at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has pulled off an upset already over Alabama and Kentucky this year, so we'll see if they can do it and have Texas lose back-to-back weeks, but I don't think so, and the rest of us don't think so.
Myself, I got Texas. Straight up. We don't got to waste time on that.
Fair enough.
Go Longhorns.
Yeah, all of us other than Peso. Peso has them -18.5. Rest of us have them straight up. And that is it for the pick segment.
Yes, sir. So, real quick before we get into the defensive tiers, we're going to talk about the Ravens. The Ravens in Monday night game, they beat the Buccaneers pretty convincingly. I know the score showed a 10-point difference, but if you watch that game, the Ravens was pretty much dominant after the 10-0 lead the Bucs came out with. First things first, prayers out to Chris Godwin and his family. It's unfortunate about that injury that happened to him in the final seconds of the game. I know I heard some people talk about, oh, he shouldn't have been out there, yada, 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 but 43 seconds, 10-point lead, anything can happen. We've seen craziness happen in the NFL. So it's unfortunate. But he's in a positive mindset. He already was saying in the card, like, back to work. So I know he'll be back stronger than ever. Who knows? He might not be in Tampa next year. He's a free agent.
Yep.
He might go to Baltimore.
Who knows? I could see that. I could see that.
He might come to New England.
Yeah. Well, Robert's going to have to get that checkbook out if he wants to do that. And he didn't do that with Mike Evans when he had the chance to get him this offseason.
Yeah,
so
and that was the person I wanted to give a shout out to and praise to. Mike Evans, he re-aggravated that hamstring injury. It's tough because I know he wants to be a warrior. I thought after that first touchdown when he was gimpy, he should have just let the doctors check him. And then leading up later on in the first half, you go not the same route, but same scenario. And this time you pull it even worse. And me, from personal experience dealing with soft tissue injuries like hamstrings and quads, it's not easy to deal with. Like, those things you got to be cautious with. So praise out to Mike Evans. It's not looking good for us, Mike. We're the only ones that picked the Bucs to win that division on the show. And we was looking pretty good until now. Both top receivers is out. So let's see what if Baker is what you say he was and potentially could be an MVP, he better get into his Dame time.
Yeah.
Now's the time to show it.
Time to prove it.
So that's all I really got for the Bucks. And then do you want to add for the Bucks before we switch over to the Ravens?
I would. Bucks gotta maybe they go after Cooper Cup. Who knows? But I don't think Evans should have been playing to begin with. I know you watched Receiver on Netflix. We saw what Amon-Ra was going through last year, and he said, "I'm just gonna sit out 1 or 2 games to make sure it gets better, so I don't tear." He had a different injury, but it was similar, so it doesn't tear off the bone. And I don't believe anything like that happened to Mike Evans. But I think we knew he was questionable going into the game. He was clearly laboring on the first drive, and then it happened on the second. I just think they should have taken the night off because look at Lamar's record against NFC teams, and it's. I agree with the move to have Godwin out there because look at the Ravens. They blew the lead against the Raiders, and what happened with the Cowboys. So I liked to play to win the game, and if they got that 2-point conversion earlier, it would have been a 1-possession game at that point. So I'm not mad at Todd Bowles for all, but the Ravens, their offense is the real deal, and as I alluded to earlier when we were talking about Henry, just those teams don't win the Super Bowl. You need in their defensive ranks; they're almost bottom 5 in every category, and that's very alarming. Because
and Marlon Humphrey got hurt, so that doesn't help either. I agree with everything you said. The Ravens' offense looks very elite, prolific. All the words you want to spew out, you can use it. The only reason why I might push back on them, not on you saying they can't win a championship with their offense, is because of this play style. I think with their play style, being able to run the ball the way they do, with not just Henry, you got Justice Hill, you got Keaton Mitchell when he comes back, and you got Lamar, that can kind of neutralize the Patrick Mahomes and Burrows of the world to where they don't get the ball back. And that the time of possession is going to be huge for them. So that's why I give them a puncher's chance and with the play style they have because of the run game. And having that run game be so efficient, now it opens up the offense for the passing game. So, and Lamar's been throwing that ball as we know Mahomes is one of one, but I can comfortably say Lamar's been the best quarterback in the league. If not him, Jared Goff. But those will be my two. Another thing I thought about with the Ravens in that Bucks game was the cornerbacks in this draft. Outside of Wiggins and Quinion Mitchell in Philly, they've been struggling.
What's Cooper DeJean done? Nothing.
I don't even know if he got as much playing time as he would like. I think someone will pick it up, but I'm not gonna put much stock. It's only the first season. It's rookie season. Rookie wall happens to everyone. But the Ravens is gonna be my pick again, and I know I'm dying on this sword. I died on the sword last year. Again, not supposed to bet against Mahomes. And something about this offense and having Henry there that is giving me a vibe that they can actually finally get over that hump. And the only person he hasn't been able to beat is Mahomes as far as quarterbacks.
Yep.
You know, teams is different, but as most people talk about the one-on-one matchups, Mahomes has beaten everyone, but he only lost to Burrow and Brady. In Burrow, he lost to get to Super Bowl. Okay, sure. The biggest game, he only lost to Brady. So,
and he lost the conference championship to Brady as well.
Yeah. So I think Lamar is due. I think if Lamar can get over that hump, this could be the next Brady Manning of the AFC with Mahomes and Lamar, as opposed to everyone thought it was going to be Burrow and Mahomes. So, but no, that happened. They got to clean up that defense. The defense is not. They got to click. Something's not clicking. Roquan is doing what he got to do. The front line is not bad. The back end is just got to improve. It is not even the safeties. It's really the corners.
Other than Hamilton's been awesome.
Nate Wiggins has been good in spurts. He's not been bad, but Hamilton's been playing like an all-pro like he was last year. So I think the sky's the limit. They're gonna have some trouble in that AFC North because Steelers ain't going away.
No, definitely not.
They're not going away. So shout out to the Ravens. Shout out to the Bucks. We ain't gonna talk about them, but shout out to the Cardinals and Chargers game. That was an eventful game on Monday night. Shout out to those guys. Cardinals came out with the game-winning field goal. So Shout out to those guys.
One thing about the Ravens, about the defense that you mentioned, give them some time. I'm not all the way out on because Zach Orr is the first-year defensive coordinator. They lost Weaver and McDonald, the two guys who ran that defense. But then here's something and I'm not saying that they can't win the Super Bowl. I'm just going off of history saying that it doesn't work out well for those teams. But one thing that will benefit them is it gets colder out. That play style with Henry's going to go even more to their advantage.
Nobody going to want to tackle that, man.
Yep.
I agree with you for sure.
And the 101 thing too. I know you talk about Mahomes, but with the play style and how he is, Lamar is really the true 1 of 1 in the league right now. Because Mahomes is great, but it's just no one has the play style right now that Lamar has.
And one more real quick, because I agree with that point from the play style point of view. Shout out to Lamar again, because your quarterback up there is your lead blocker on that big Henry run. Yep. And that just goes to show how fast Lamar is. He was the last one out that backfield. It was the first one on the second level. So that just goes to show the leadership and the qualities of a mobile quarterback or just a running quarterback can do for your team if you have the right system and you invest in that player, such player. So shout out to Lamar. Moving forward, we have, last but not least, our defense of tier list. So we have 4 tiers: S tier, A tier, mid, trash. We're going to just go quickly through the teams and what we think is the elite teams on defense and what are the mid teams and so on and so forth. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started. This will be the last segment for today's show until Sunday. Back to our normal regular programming, scheduled programming. So without further ado, let's get to it. Mike, I'll let you do the honors. You have the Cardinals first.
They played better than they started off the year was supposed to. I'm not going to put them in trash, but they definitely should be the last team in mid. They did good on Monday night. They held the Chargers, no touchdowns. That's not really saying much if you ask me, but I'll put them in the mid.
They are one of the bottom tier teams when it comes to getting to the quarterback. The mid, I feel like, is appropriate. I have the Falcons.
Don't say anything bad about Pesos Falcons.
I'm going to be consistent. They're mid. Their defense is mid. They have pieces to be A, like A.J. Terrell, Jesse Bates. They have the pieces. I just think until they put it together, I'm going to put them mid because that was one of the reasons I pushed back when they had that big game against Tampa. And everybody was going, oh, Cousins, 509, yada, yada, yada. That's cute. That's not the issue I had with them because we know Atlanta can put up points. My issue is when they're going to have to play some defense, and it showed against Seattle when Seattle hung 31 or 37 on them. So until they put all that together, Atlanta's defense is going to be in the mid category.
Ravens, huh? How many teams are we putting in trash, bro? That's the thing. I know they're not as bad as say the Panthers, the Patriots, or the Browns defense, but they ain't good.
The Ravens defense?
Yeah.
You think they're trash?
Okay, we'll put them in mid, but the numbers say otherwise. I was
going to say they top 5 in sacks. They're 4 in sacks.
Yeah, hold on. I got a few statistics that I put on my phone here that I had for the Ravens defense, just in case we got into about the Ravens today. So EPA, which is expected points against the 26th. Total defense, the 23rd, allowing 355.6 yards a game. Their pass defense is 31st out of 32 teams. Success rate 16th, that's middle of the tier, and then DVOA, they're 13th. So I'll go with mid, I guess, but if that's the case, there's going to be a lot of teams in mid, and they're only going to be the trash of the trash and the trash.
You know, I'm not mad at that because one thing I will say, their front four and their pass rush, it has been really elite. They're top 5 in sacks, but they're the bottom half in yards allowed and in takeaways in the air. So I'm not mad if you put them in mid. I think they're better than the Falcons and the Cardinals, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. At all. Yeah.
I have the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go mid as well.
Yeah, I think they're borderline A, and they're even better than the Ravens. But they're your pick. You can put them wherever you'd like.
Okay, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You got the Panthers.
Bottom of the trash, man.
I have the Chicago Bears. Almost said the Browns.
Not this year. A lot of years they play like that, but not this year.
I like what they got on our defense, but I'm gonna put them in mid.
Really? Wow.
I'll put them in mid for now.
They're
They're in the top 15 as far as sacks go. Hold on.
It's glitching out now.
Yeah, it has only for so long. Let me close it real quick.
See, I'd even put them borderline top. Definitely in A.
Well, they're top 15, like I said, in sacks. Or they're top 10 in. I'll put them in A actually.
It's Jalen Johnson.
Top 15 in sacks, top 10 in interceptions. I'll put them in the A tier. You have the Bengals.
They've been better the past 2 weeks, but I would honestly put them in the trash. I'm not gonna lie. Till I see more, I can't say otherwise.
Just put them in trash.
Yeah, they can move up, but the way they're playing right now, I know they played better the past 2 weeks, but Hendrickson hasn't been as good as he has been in the past, and they're not as bad as the Panthers, but they're definitely not good.
I agree. I got the Cleveland Browns. I'll put them in trash.
Yeah.
At the top, though.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll put them in mid. I'll put them at the bottom of mid.
Fair enough. Their defense has always struggled on the road, but they were pretty good last year overall. This year, not so much.
You have
Cowboys.
the Dallas Cowgirls.
Yeah. I honestly put them in the trash to mid. Not gonna lie, they without Parsons, Bland and
Lawrence.
Lawrence, yeah, they've been good. They were good like for a week or two, but I need to see that going forward to say otherwise.
I agree. I'm not wasting time. I got the Denver Broncos in the A tier. They could borderline be S.
That's what I'm saying. I think they should be S.
We can put them in the S tier. You have the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I think the Broncos might. Yeah, I think the Broncos might be one of the better, if not best, defenses in the league. To be honest with you, the Lions. I'd say they're in the top of mid.
The Lions top of mid. I have Green Bay. I'm going to put Green Bay in mid. Right ahead of the Browns. Yeah, I'll put them ahead of the Browns. You have Houston.
Put them in the A tier. They're a good defense. That's what's saving them right now with Nico Collins out.
Houston in the A tier.
Yep.
Oh, damn, it's okay. I have the Colts. The Colts are going to be in trash.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, you have Duval.
Yeah, Duval in the trash, man. We don't got to waste time. The defense is terrible.
God awful. Just got to reorganize real quick.
No, you're good. No worries.
Jaguars in the trash. Perfect. I have the defending back-to-back two-time champs. I'm going to put the Chiefs in the A tier.
Huh? Don't want to go S?
I'm going to hold off.
All right. Fair enough. Chargers I got. I put the Chargers in mid.
Chargers mid. I have the Rams. I'll put them in mid.
Fair enough. I wouldn't even be mad at trash with them.
You got the Raiders.
They
I'll
have
take the Raiders if you want the Dolphins.
To be honest with you, Dolphins ain't that bad of a defense, but that's not. Yeah, you can have the Raiders, bro. I'm curious to see where you put them.
I'll put them in trash.
Trash. Yeah, they have the potential to be a better defense, but I'm not going to argue with that. Dolphins, I'd put them in mid, to be honest with you. They've actually played pretty good. I know I ripped them a few weeks ago, but they've been playing all right. So, but I need to see it continue more.
Dolphins in mid.
Yeah.
I got the Vikings. They're S tier.
Yeah,
I think they got probably one of the best, if not the best, defense in the league.
Yeah, I agree with that. Patriots are trash for the defense. Not going to lie there.
Saints, I'm going to put them in mid.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad at trash for them.
The Giants, I don't think we got to waste much time on this. They got the DPOY, in my opinion.
I'd put them in mid.
You said you put them in mid?
Yeah, I'd put them in mid. They're not as bad as people think, but they're not. I can't put them in A tier with some of the other teams in
You
mid.
think the Giants' defense is mid?
Why? You think it's an A tier defense?
I think it's one of the best defenses in the league, but I'm
Okay.
not mad at that.
I put it at the top of mid. That's the thing. I don't.
Oh, so you have them like borderline?
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, I can concede that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The Jets.
It's a tale of two different defenses right there.
Trash.
Trash.
And I'm mad about it. Just you can go because if I go on a while, I'm so mad about this team being the trash defense is gonna annoy me.
I think you should go for it, man. The floor is yours.
Nope.
All right.
I can't. I don't know where to start. It's just like it aggravates me because they have all the pieces at every level. For them to be playing that the way they do, and then they ousted Robert Saleh. Well, the defense didn't oust him, but I'm talking about the team itself. The defense got worse. They got worse. You got rid of your head coach who's known for defense, and they got drastically worse. Like Sauce, I don't know what's going on with Sauce. I know he's been out the lineup. Williams, where's Waldo? I haven't seen the potential best D tackle in the league since he got paid. The linebacker CJ Mosley been in and out the lineup. It's like, what is going on in New York? I thought the Greenmen would have been a better defense, but them boys out in East Rutherford's been the better team on defense. And they got I'm going to say Dexter Lawrence. If you don't watch football, they call him Sexy Dexty, is the DPOY. He's a leader in sacks for a reason. So that's why I said I'll put the Giants defense in the A or S tier because he has 9 sacks at D tackle, and they're the leading team in sacks. So but that's neither here nor there. We can talk about the
put him in the A tier
Jets.
then. Man. I ain't mad about it. I like the Giants defense, as I said, but
they just ain't got a quarterback.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. And with the Jets, it's a tale of two different defenses. With Saleh's there, they're probably an A tier defense. With him gone, they're trash. There's no in between. But the Eagles, put them in mid. Really want to put them in trash, but
I know you do. That's why I was surprised.
I like Vic Fangio too, but
Steelers. I got the Steelers in. I want to put them S tier, but I'll put them in the A because I don't think they're better than the Giants.
I'm cool with either one.
You have the Seahawks.
We can put them in mid. They've shown flashes of being an A tier defense, but they've shown a lot of flashes of being a trash defense as well.
Yes, sir. We have I have the 49ers. I'm gonna put them in. I want to put them in A, but I'll put them in the top of mid for now.
I agree with that, for sure.
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay has the potential to be an A-task defense, but they have not been good this year. I'd put them in the lower half of mid, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. I have the Tennessee Titans. They are S-tier defense.
Yes, they are very good.
They are the number one team in yards yards not allowed. Ladarius Sneed and the crew handling business, so they're S-tier team. Last but not least, you have the Commanders.
Commanders, put them at the top of mid, just because they've outperformed what they were supposed to do. They're still not like this great defense yet, but they've done much better than everyone thought they were gonna.
Fair enough. Here's our list, everyone. We don't have an exact top 10 teams, but I think we have a few teams in the mid that we'll probably move up. We can agree to move up into the A tier, but we can leave that for another time. But here's our list. The top 3 defenses we believe is the Vikings, Broncos, Titans. Followed by, we got the Giants, Steelers, Bears, Texans, Chiefs. We have the Commanders at the top of the mids, Niners, Lions, Dolphins, Ravens, Bills. Oh, wait, swap that because the Dolphins does not have a better defense than the Ravens or the Bills.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Whoa, it's glitching again. Oh, I thought they moved the Bears down, but wait, we had Bears in the A tier, right?
Yeah,
it didn't. I wasn't bugging. So, yep, here's our list. I think we did a pretty good job, Mike. This Pick 6, we always hold down the fort, man. Defense is our best offense. That's why our show's named after Pick 6 for that reason.
Just call it the Patrick Surtain show if that was the case.
Mm-hmm. The seatbelt. You got to put the seatbelt on.
Yeah.
But, man, that's going to be the show for today, man. Everyone watching, thank you. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Continue to share the channel. We are still going to continue our regularly Sunday show. Sundays at 11:15, right before the kickoff. If you're into the basketball world, we got basketball on Saturdays at 12:15. Basketball will be back up and running next Saturday, so stay tuned for that. And make sure you like and subscribe again. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Great.